A longtime officer has died following a medical emergency Friday night. Philadelphia police officer died from a medical emergency in South Philadelphia Friday evening. Shortly before 9 p.m., witnesses saw a female officer unresponsive. The police officer was assigned to an overtime assignment at the 1800 block of Christopher Columbus Boulevard, the TJ Maxx Home Goods parking lot. 911 was called when officers who responded to the scene attempted CPR and the officer was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced deceased. According to the Commissioner Outlaw, the officer, who police have not yet provided full identification of, was assigned to the city's 3rd District as a school officer. And at this time, officials don't have any additional information as to what happened, but the officer was on the police force for at least 24 years. So definitely condolences to friends and family of this officer who passed away. And Cortez, GPS, anybody can jump in. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the heat that did it.
Could be the heat. I mean, I haven't heard anything about it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It could have been a number of things. Her husband's an officer too. So, yeah, the police force, they got hit pretty hard. You know, you lose one of your own. And then on top of that, you know, I feel bad for that guy. You know, he lost his wife at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just, man, you can't take this too lightly, even though we don't know what the medical issues were.
Right.
I just hope they give her a good send off.
Yes.
Because how many years was that again? Because
she was on the force for 24 years.
Yeah, she's getting to that retirement stage too. So she put her time, man. It's a shame. It's a shame it had to end like this. You know, I mean, we us on this show, we do respect the blue and black. We do respect that. So yeah, my sympathies definitely goes out to the families and also the officers.
Absolutely. GPS, you want to jump in on that?
Yeah, you know, sometimes we don't know. You know, that's why we advocate being conscious of your health. Now, whether you're consciously knowing you're doing wrong or unconsciously things are happening, but staying up on your health, going to the doctor. You know, when they tell you to drink plenty of water in these kinds of in these heat waves, I'll never forget when I was doing that oil job. I had to go to a dairy warehouse to fill up their trucks and trailers.
Okay.
And their reefer trailers, and they probably had about 120 of them. Okay, and you figure I had to be out there at least 3 hours, and I was trying to move fast. I drank a whole gallon of water.
I believe it.
Okay, and then very rarely, only time I know I have to do that is when I know I'm really sweating it back out. So if I'm sweating out a gallon of water inside of 3 hours, I mean, imagine what anybody else is doing out there in the elements. And like, you know, I wasn't even really going back in to cool off or anything. I'm gonna take age into account. I don't know how old the officer was.
I'm thinking and theorizing here. Didn't mean to cut you off. If you're 24 years into the force, I would say if you started at 18, give or take. So about our age. Wow. I would say maybe about our age.
Man.
Yeah.
24, man. It's not every day you make 24 like that. So, you know.
That's true.
So it's rough. It's rough. I mean, you know, I have family members that were part of the Popo and everything like that. And yeah, it's a huge undertaking just to get into the force. And even more than that, to even make a quarter century, that's a big feat. You know, that's not something you take lightly. But once again, you know, we might have our issues with certain Popo that shine or put a bad shadow on the force. But a lot of these officers are really good people, and they really do their best to protect and serve this city. And we definitely have to give them their respect and, you know, protect them as much as they try to protect us. You know, yes, we do have the one bad apple that could spoil the whole bunch, but in situations like this, they're just doing their job. And you know, when the landlord says it's time, that's it. But at the same time, maybe the city should undertake some kind of a program for officers if you are in a type of a code red. I would consider this like a code red. Like the city of Philadelphia, they usually have like heat warning levels, just like any other city. They should develop something for the officers, since they're out there on the beat. They have heavy equipment, plus their vests, their Glocks, everything else. Cortez, you kind of see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, they need some kind of cool down stations, because if not, you walking around, they're walking around. I never seen an officer out there rocking shorts. they're in full body armor and everything. You heat up. You want to heat up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how do you cool down? And some of them are doing double shifts. They're not just doing just here and there. They're doing they're doing 12-hour shifts. Indeed. What do you do?